The Drunk Englishman here. Today we'll be talking about why it's damn near impossible to date now in these current times. Especially here in America where I live. I live in Tampa, Florida. I'm drinking a milk stout today, 7.5%. Well, I talk about this. I'm giving you more expertise of this subject matter and what I think about the current dating scenarios in the world right now. If you find yourself a single bloke out there going from club to club like I used to do back in the day, you might get a little bit frustrated. I'm going to tell you why right now. Oh, that's good. I love me some milk stouts. But right now, I really think it's the times that we are in. You know, a lot of bastards out there, especially women, are going through a lot of psychological problems. Right now, we got a bad economy, even though the government says it's the great economy right now, but they're lying.
It's time that we build an economy that grows from the bottom up and the middle out.
You know, a lot of people are stressed with financial issues, and I really think that's a big one when it comes to the dating world and being single. It's actually beneficial, if you look at it this way, to be hooked up with somebody because you can share the bills, you can split the bills. It used to be back in the day the man used to go to work while the broad stayed home and cooked and cleaned, and they never had a problem with that. And I really do think it's because they didn't need that much money back then because things didn't cost as much. They were happier blokes. And I think that nowadays people are worried too much about cash, their financial situation. It's hard to get a home nowadays. A lot of people are renting and they are in over the head on mortgages, and it's causing lots of fights in their relationship. And that trickles down to the younger people. These younger people feel like there's no hope out there anymore in America. The American dream is not even a dream anymore. Now it's a nightmare, folks. You know? And it has a lot, you can see it on people's faces. When you go out, it's not like when I went out to the clubs. I've been in a relationship now for 9 years and I'm still not married. Because it's scary to get married, you know what I'm saying? I feel like once you get married, the blowjobs stop too, you know what I mean? I like blowjobs. But I've heard it from a lot of my married friends that they don't even get any anymore. It's been years since they've gotten any poo nanny. You know what I'm saying? I like the poo nanny, I like the blowjobs. You know, that's another thing you got to think of. When you're a single bloke, you know, go out there and live it up. Get laid as much as possible. That's my personal advice. Before you get married. Because usually when you get married, all that stuff stops. But back to the dating world. And I go out to some clubs, you know, I do some comedy gigs and whatnot. And I see a lot of these girls think they're full of themselves. You know, and there's a lot of online dating now. But it's very hard to break that off. Unless you're a handsome bloke, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're like a Ryan Gosling out there, you're going to walk right into that trap, you know what I'm saying? But if you're just an average bloke or you're ugly, I hate that word ugly. I know a lot of ugly bastards, and they're some of the coolest bastards to be around. You know, the personality should count, but it doesn't in the dating world. Women expect you to look like damn Charles Bronson, for Christ's sakes. You know, if you don't know who that is, look him up. They expect you to be perfect. You know, and there's criteria to us men nowadays. You gotta have the tattoos, you gotta have the fancy hair, and you gotta have tons of damn money. But that's not always the case. You know, some women like the dirtbags out there that don't have any money and no job and have 4 kids already. You know, that doesn't make sense, but it also does. Because they're already secure and having a bad life, so they know what they're getting. You know what I'm saying? If you're a normal ass bloke going out to the club trying to get a date with some broad, you might be screwed because you're trying too damn hard. First of all, you're going there and that's your first damn mistake. You know what I'm saying? Then people are like, well, I've tried online dating and it's nothing but scams and fake broads and getting catfished. You know, I've been catfished before, bro. You know, you gotta stay away from the girls that just show the pic of their face, you know? That's 101 on dating apps, you know? There's tons of dating apps, and that's another problem too. People do not know how to communicate socially. They write a bunch of fake garbage about themselves on the online dating apps, like, I'm an engineer, blah, blah, blah. You know, that's what I used to do to try to get them in, thinking I had a bunch of money. But it doesn't work, because once they find out you're a cheating lying bastard or drunk bastard like me, they're going to tell you to hit the brakes, you know what I'm saying? But it might be good for a one-night stand, you know what I'm saying? You got to think of that too. Do you want a one-night stand, or do you want a long-term, an LTO, a long-term damn relationship? Like I said, I've been in a relationship for 9 years. There's been fights, plenty of them. You know, we fight all the damn time. But another thing, if you don't fight in your relationship, if you don't fight when you're starting to meet somebody, that means you don't care about the relationship. If you're just going to let it go, then you don't care. You know, it's when you fight and argue about things is when you actually give a damn about that person. Otherwise, you wouldn't be fighting at all. You know, that's true life advice right there. It's not easy dating. It's not easy being in a relationship. Not easy being married. But you got to look at it this way. I think the dating world is at an end because people are not social anymore. They're more social on social media than they are in real life. They're fake. People put on a fake persona to try to look better than they are. You know what I'm saying? And nobody's genuine anymore. You know, there's a few genuine bastards out there. But when you go on a date, you find that there's nothing to talk about, you know. See, that's why I've done a lot of talking videos about conversation starters. Just to give you blokes out there who are having a trouble keeping a conversation, you can keep it going with some of those topics, you know. It's just crazy off-the-wall questions. But when I see young people on a date nowadays, I say young people, I like to think of myself still as young, even though I'm an old bastard. But when I see these young people out in the clubs and out on the dates, they're on their phones. It's a big no-no. Never used to be like that back in the day. That's another reason why divorce rates are high. People are just on their damn phones. They're on social media. They're getting talked to. They're getting reached out by more people. And I think it causes a lot of issues in LTRs. Yeah, and that's why divorce rates are so high. People are always looking at the grass is greener on the other side. You know, it's a struggle out there. I feel bad for some of you single blokes and single ladies out there because it's, you know, maybe even more ladies, because it's hard to find a decent bloke nowadays. You know, I'm sure if any of you ladies went on these dating websites, all it is guys trying to get their noodle wet. You know what I'm saying? They ain't trying to look for anything. They ain't trying to put a ring on that finger. You know, I've been 9 years in a relationship and put a damn ring on that finger yet. You know, but I hear about it every damn day. But what you have to do is you got to remain loyal. You know, if you don't loyal, then you might as well just move on. But it's hard to move on nowadays for these single bastards. You might get 1 or 2 dates out of the year, but there ain't gonna be nothing to talk about because it's the times. COVID screwed it all up too, back in the day. I say back in the day now, it's only 4 short years ago, maybe 3 if you count 2021, still having some restrictions. It's hard to meet people around those times. You had to go to bars, but you had to wear a mask because nobody could see your damn face, you know what I'm saying? It was hard to pick up bros back then. Unless they're sleazy, you know? And you don't want a sleazy one either. There's plenty of that. You know, if you're hard up right now, you could probably go to the club and get a sleazy broad right now. Just look for the sleaziest one in there and give her your number or take her back to your house that night. Do you know what I'm saying? But if what you're looking for is dating a real woman who wants to have a relationship, it's going to be very tough out there. And I just named the reasons why. It's financial, it's social, it's your phones, it's the times we're in, you know what I'm saying? It's just, it ain't going to happen. And I don't see it changing very soon. I actually see it getting worse for you single blokes out there. But there's always hope, you know, there's always hope. Alcohol is a good stimulant to get you going when you're outside. It brings the nasty out of you. It brings different conversations. So I'll suggest you drink some more, you bastards, you know. Let the liquor flow, as I say. And you'll be chatting up broads in no time, you know. Woman, you probably stay away from the alcohol because you want to have your senses. Otherwise the noodle will be wet. You know what I'm saying? You're going to stay away from them wet noodles. You know, you want a decent bloke with a decent head on his shoulders. Who cares if he's good looking or not? Does he have a decent head on his shoulders? Is he striving to compete with his own mind? Is he striving to have a better life? If not, stay away from the bastard. You know, that's my advice to women. You want somebody who's going somewhere in life and not just dragging your ass down. You know? And as for dudes, you don't want a sleaze. You don't want somebody who's been around the village bicycle, as they used to call them now. You want to look for somebody who's legit and has something going for them too, and has hobbies, who's not always on the damn phone all damn day. You know, you gotta have a hobby. You know, you gotta have something to talk about. So hobbies are something to talk about when you're on dates. But I really blame it on the financial situation. People are looking, especially women, they're looking for some comfort in their financial stability. And if they're not doing it themselves, they're going to be looking for a bloke that has some financial responsibility. So that's the first thing, is you got to get your finances taught if you're a single bloke out there. You might want to improve your looks, shave a little bit. You see, I don't give a damn, so I keep this. But you got to keep it up. You got to keep up appearances, as they say. Have a few drinks, go out there, be loose, and try to start some conversations. And that's the only way that you're going to break this dating scene, this horrible, horrible dating scene that's out there today. That's what I see this dating world. It's a sad, sad dating world right now. And if you're single, I feel for you, you know what I'm saying? And even if you're married, I feel for you, because you ain't getting any of that punani either. Or the BJs. You know what I'm saying? So what I would say is keep it mid-level. Just do what you damn want. Alright, that's my advice. I'm gonna finish this milk stout and have a drink on me.